Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. Sorry, this is getting to you a little bit late. Weekend was not as productive as I wanted to. I apologize. Uh, Mr. Daniel's class, I will likely make this an ed puzzle so you can possibly get some points for doing it because I know you're doing it after PE now, and I'd like you to have that chance to do it before PE. So again, I apologize. Let's get busy though, okay? Copy this down. Go do as many of these problems as you can. Sometimes it's good to go ahead and write in the little time sign and plus sign to remind yourself. We're talking about products on top, and what's that word for when you get an answer for adding two numbers, right? Sums on the bottom. Don't forget, you can do 2 to the second power wrong and still get it right. But you want to be careful. You're not doing this times this. It's not the base times the exponent, right? Because if you did that, you get 3 times 2, 6. And that's the most popular wrong answer. It's the base times itself, the exponent number of times. So all of these are to the second power. And remember what you can call that, right? Those are called squares. 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, all the way up through 13 squares. 13 squared. So those are squares. This is a generic rectangle. Remember you used to call that in 5th grade? I think no, not the partial product. I'm spacing out on it. I'll think of it when you guys come back. But do this. Find the missing numbers, right? Both the factors, those are the numbers on the outside, and the products, and then get a sum of all those 6 products, and then check it using the standard algorithm. Okay? So it's going to be 40 something times something 100 and something 2, right? All right. Go try it after you press pause and copy this down, and we will see you soon. And I'm back. Let's get some answers here. Let's switch over to the red pen for the answers. What 2 numbers have a product of 56 and a sum of 15? 7 and 8, right? That's one of those tough basic facts, but you learn that and you get 7 free. But wait, there's more, right? Got to do it. Got to do it. All right, how about 42 hundredths and 1 3/10? Well, what 2 numbers multiply together equal 42? Thinking 6 and 7, right? Also 2 and 21, but there's not a whole lot of choices. And 6 plus 7 is 13, so I'm going to go with that. And if I have them both be tenths, then when I add those, I do get 1 3/10. And when I multiply, remember you multiply, pretend like there's no decimal. 7 times 6 is 42. And then you have to figure out where do I put the decimal. Well, to pretend that was a 6, I moved it over 1. To pretend that was a 7, I moved that over 1. I moved the decimals over a total of 2 times, not because there were 2 decimals, but because I moved it over 2 spots, 1 there and 1 there, right? Be careful if you just sort of get in your mind that it's all about how many decimals there are, because then you're going to get the next couple wrong, right? All right, what 2 numbers work here? Again, that's going to be 3/10 and 3/10, and I lied. If you did this wrong, you could still get it right if you counted decimals. But what we're doing, we're counting how many places they have to move it there, how many places they have to move it there. Now, if that's your technique, though, you will get this one wrong, because this ends up being 2/10 and 200ths, right? Now, when I add those and I line up the decimal, decimal comes straight down, fill in a 0 to make sure you're not confused. Now I get this, right? But when I multiply, 2 times 2 is 4. If I just count the decimals, I'm going over 2 spots. If I remind myself what I'm supposed to do is figure out how many places I moved the decimal over to pretend it was a whole number. There's 1 spot there. I had to move it over 2 spots here. That's a total of 3 spots, which makes me go over 3 spots the other direction in my answer. What do I do here? Fill in the egg carton, right? 4 thousandths, right? Hopefully you're doing that correctly. Again, you could do this wrong, get it right. 2 to the second power, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. Most popular wrong answer for 4 squared is, I said wrong answer. Most popular wrong answer is 8. The correct problem is 4 times 4, and the correct product is 16. Most popular wrong answer is 10. The correct problem is 5 times 5, and the correct product is 25. Why do we talk about most popular wrong answers? Well, understanding where people make mistakes is important. That's a good step in learning and understanding how things work, right? If you understand what not to do, oftentimes that leads you to what you're supposed to do. So we do that a lot. 6 to the second power is not 12, it's 6 times 6, which is 36. And 7 to the second power is your second favorite football team, right? 8 times 8 fell on the floor. I picked it up. It was. And 9 to the second power is 9 squared, 81. 10 squared is not 20. It's 10 times 10. 10 rows of 10 would make an array of 100. And again, the power of 10 is pretty cool, because 10 to the third power is going to be a 1 with 3 zeros. 10 to the fourth power ends up being a 1 with 4 zeros, and that'll work forever. Pretty cool little trick there. 11 squared is not 111, 121. And 12 squared is a dozen, also known as a gross. You can order things by the gross. So what we'll do in this class is whenever that's the answer, you guys can say, ew, that's gross. Why? Because that's what a gross is, 144, just like a dozen is 12. And I like dumb jokes, and that ends up being a dumb joke, right? All right, dad jokes. All right, here we go. Missing numbers. 40 times what is 800? Well, 4 times 2 is 8. If I put another 0 there, I have 1, 2 zeros, so I have to move it over 2 spots. Ooh, but that's not 80, huh? Can't talk and do that at the same time. That's 20. 4 times 2 is 8, okay? So that's 20. Now, 40 times 2 is 80, and 2 times what is 6? Well, times 3, and 3 times what is 300? 100, and 3 times 20 is, so, oh, I got to do this. 1 times 4 is 4. 1, 2, 3 spots, I got to move it over, so 4,000. So my products are 4,000, 800, 300, 80, 60, and 6. I don't know why I'm kind of a, I don't know, CBD, what do you call it? I like to put them in order for some reason. It's nice and neat for me. 14, carry the 1. 11 and 1 is 12, carry the 1. 5,246. Let's double check that. What is my original problem? 122 times 43. So standard algorithm is when we write it like this. And remember, we start in the bottom right. The 1s times the 1s, right? So I'm going to go 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3. Now I'm putting a placeholder here. Why? Because that 4 is not really 4, it's 40. So I got to push it over, right? Move the decimal over 1 spot, right? So 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 1 is 4. Now we go add those. 14, 12, 5,246. Check. Got it right. By the way, I make mistakes all the time. If I ever do a warm-up and make a mistake and you let me know, I got bonus points and Dean's List points, a reward for you. Because on Friday I made a mistake and no one said anything until I put it in the Ed puzzle, and then you guys were stuck trying to give the right answer, and the right answer wasn't available. Apologize for that. Thank you, Claire, for being the first one to point it out to me. Okay. All right. Us teachers, sometimes we say, oh, I did that on purpose, just to see if you notice. I'm never really doing it on purpose, but I do it a lot, so especially when I rush. 2 times 1. Multiplying fractions is easy. Why is it easy? People don't believe me when I say that, especially kids. They've been tricked so many times, right? Us evil teachers. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm really being honest. If I wanted to add 2/5 and 4/7, I got to do all sorts of things with common denominators and switch both numbers before I can do it, and then I can add them. And this time, when you multiply, you just go straight across the top. 2 times 4 and 5 times 7, 8/35. That's it. Sometimes you'll have to simplify when you're done, but it's not because you got the wrong answer. You just didn't put it in simplest form, which makes a little bit better answer, right? How tall am I? I tell people I'm 80 inches or I'm 5'20". Those are both correct, but it's not simplest form, right? But I'm a math teacher, so sometimes I put it in a more confusing form just to make you do a little extra math, right? All right, 3 times 5 is 15, 4 times 7 is 28, 3 times 2 is 6, 8 times 11 is 88. A couple of snowmen. Almost time for snowmen. 3 tenths and 35. 9 tens is 90. 9 twos is 18. 90 and 18, 108. All right. Hopefully you got this. It was easy. You're ready to start Monday. Have at it, everybody. Have a good one.